I have come. I see God in everyone. Let me be an instrument, guided by an heaven sent. May these grapes of pain ferment, alchemize to love's content, ever be a sacrament, knowing God is my intent. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. Rolling like a thundercloud, let me live my love out loud, standing for mankind and proud, baptized in a holy shroud. Peace be still and know me now. God is in all I have found. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. Oh God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. God, feels turning everything. Hold me in the same like a kiss. Seals the spirit I become. Oh, knowing what I'm here for. Growing on to distant shores. Oh, how you astound me with your praise. God in everyone. Oh, spinning like a prayer field. Let's see no turning like Ezekiel's wheels. Nothing like a kiss seals the spirit I've become. Oh, knowing what I'm here for. Rolling on to distant shores. Flowing from the infinite. God in everyone. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone.
Wow. That was beautiful. What a fantastic way to be reminded that God is in each and every one of us than to hear two beautiful voices harmonizing like that. And now it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce our associate minister here at CSL on the Lake, the Reverend Mary Ellen Cassie, although we all know, we affectionately know her as Rev M.E., and she's going to be giving tonight's talk entitled How to Use It. Rev M.E.?
Thank you. Blessings, Pierre, for that introduction. Appreciate that. And yes, the talk. I want to welcome everyone online and on Zoom, on YouTube, etc., who is here with us this evening. We certainly appreciate your presence and your love and your and the yawns that might come through. So the talk this evening is how to use it. This is the 4th week in our series on the basics of science of mind. Today we look at part 4 in our textbook, how to use it. And not only how to use it, but how to become it. That's our goal. Ernest Holmes begins this chapter by saying, one of the great difficulties in the new order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. As a matter of fact, we only know as much as we can prove by actual demonstration. That's found on page 51 for those who are interested in following up and reading that. Well, it is good to meet and discuss the philosophy of science of mind. We must be sure we are taking the time to demonstrate the principles we study and discuss. Before I learned about the science of mind, I had a friend who was diagnosed with liver cancer. Being spiritual people, we gathered some close friends together and did our Reiki practice on her. Shortly after this, she went into remission to be a healing. A year or so later, the cancer returned with a vengeance. We gathered together again for another Reiki treatment, and this time she was not healed or put into remission. She died. I was so mad at God. How could this happen? Why were our prayers not answered? I was so disillusioned with God. Sometime later, I learned from her husband that she had a very profound healing of the relationship with her brother and her father. Neither she had spoken to for years. Before her death, she was able to reconcile with both of them and was very peaceful and ready to die. Much later, when I began to study the science of mind philosophy, I learned that we are all made in the likeness and image of the Divine One. And that means we all have that same nature within us. Unconditional love, creativity, infinite wisdom, unlimited possibilities, and endless potentiality. You see, I had one way I thought healing could occur, and I limited my thought or expression of spirit by staying so narrow-minded. How often did I miss out on life because I thought everything had to be one way? As a young woman in a deep Christian faith, I thought God had a plan for me, a husband, the one and only. I was so scared that out of all the men in the world, how would I be sure the one I chose to marry would be the one God had planned for me? It was a lot of pressure. Can you hear my limited thinking? Things can only play out one way. And if I miss that way, I will not be happy. This chapter, part 4 in the book, Ernest says, Spirit works for us, flowing through us. This means I must allow Spirit to flow through me and not to block that flow with my complaining and fearful thoughts. If my nature is the same nature of God, then I know there is confidence and assurance that all is well. I need to keep my mind focused on the positive. On page 53, Ernest says, thought should tend more and more toward an affirmative attitude of mind that is positive, stable, and above all else, toward a real unity with Spirit that is already complete and perfect. This is how we use the science of mind philosophy. We stay positive, we stay aligned with Spirit, and we stay firm in our belief. One of my teachers told me, first, make a decision that God is alive and well in my heart. Secondly, that there is a power for good in the universe and I can use it. Third, never change this belief, even when circumstances change. That's a little tricky some days for me. And fourth, know it and do not abandon this belief. So when the diagnosis comes, when the relationship falls apart, the job ends, the lottery ticket is a winner, the stock price skyrockets, or the dream comes true. In all things, know God is alive and well. There is a power for good, and you can use it. That is how we use it. We believe it and stick to our belief, even if common sense says go another way. Sometimes we let other things enter our thoughts, our minds. We may reconsider things, it may not be the right choice. We know that spirit is opening the doors that lead to our highest and best, always. Once we are aligned with spirit, then we can focus on how we can make a difference in the lives of others. Some of you may know this man, Reverend Dr. William Barber II, a Christian minister and social activist. And he said, Jesus, a brown-skinned Palestinian Jew, called us to preach goodness to the poor, to the broken, to the bruised, and all those who are made to feel unaccepted. Now, do you think his message is religion is kindness? When we recognize who we are, we also realize we are expressions of the one power, one spirit, and one God. And when we align ourselves with that nature of spirit, I almost want to say the floodgates open up. There comes unconditional love, acceptance, non-judgment, unlimited potentiality. This is who we are and how we show up in the world when we practice this true nature of spirit within. And I took the liberty to say that we have this big, hairy, audacious goal that the Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake is a global resource to discover and live spiritual truth. This is my imagination filling our center to the brim with willing participants acting in divine right order, discovering their true magnificence. I love it. So I took the liberty to throw that in. And I know as we discover and live our spiritual truth, our individual spiritual truth, we live and become beautiful expressions of spirit. That's who we are. And in these expressions of spirit, we show unconditional love, the beauty of spirit, the wisdom of the divine, unrestrained joy, and an unshakable peace, unlimited power. I know when I began to study science of mind, Ernest Holmes, in the very beginning of his book, promised me freedom. And I can attest to that today, that I have, and I still practice and experience this freedom. So I became a knower at that moment of that experience for myself. We use this philosophy to stay grounded, I surely do, and aligned with our spiritual nature. And when we veer off course, we help each other in loving ways. We remind each other of who we are, whose we are. And we come back into an alignment, into living in congruency with the spirit. And as spiritual beings, we are living a human life. So sometimes we forget who we really are. So I invite each and every one of us to be gentle with yourself, to forgive yourself and others often. Ernest says at the end of this chapter, perfect belief is the beginning and the end of all good mental work. You'll find his quote on page 60. Now, how we use it. Again, we ask ourselves this question. One of my favorite practices is that we keep our minds, my mind, our minds, focused on spirit. There is a power for good in the universe, available to everyone, and you can use it. This book teaches us what this power is, how it works, and how we can use it to help ourselves and others. Spirit is the creative cause back of and within everything. That's what we call first cause. We let spirit flow through us, opening our minds to infinite possibilities and potentiality. And that instrument of this power is our own mind. Our own mind. We use the principles of science of mind to demonstrate spirit in action. You've heard many times, if you've been with us for a while, that we do spiritual mind treatment. And the phrase is that we move our feet. That's what we call ourselves, moving our feet, spirit in action. We become it as we live as spirit, in us, through us, and as us. I use the techniques in this book, and I am living a life I had never, ever considered possible before Science of Mind. And I'm going to affirm once again that there is a power for good in the universe, and I am using it. And so it is. Another song. One of my favorites.
Let me walk to the banks of the river of love, where the current runs deep, baptized in the one, where there's no separation and the light is always seen. Honoring all our differences and love will set us free. Oh, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I say, oh, you rock my soul. I say, oh, you rock my soul. I see the blessings of the past. It's time to requalify. Let's not forget, but learn to forgive. God knows we gotta try. It's my responsibility to heal the wounds in me. Compassion, faith, and hope, and love, and truth will set us free. Oh, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I say, oh, you rock my soul. I say, oh, you rock my soul. Oh, Lord, I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. Mother, Father, God, there's a healing going on. I said, oh, you rock my soul. I say, oh, you rock my soul. I said, oh, you rock my soul.
Now, this is our time, our offering confirmation that we share our good with CSL on the lake. So I'm inviting you to join me in saying our abundance confirmation. I receive with gratitude. I use what I receive, and I share with love. The law of circulation is active in my life now. I am grateful, and all is well. And there are many ways to give to us on CSL on the lake. You may give to the ministry by any transfer. to admin@cslonthelegs.com. You may also visit our website at cslonthelegs.com. And for those who are comfortable sending a check to the Center of Spiritual Living on the Lake, the address is below at 38 Kootenay Crescent, Toronto, Ontario, M1J 1R7. And of course, all donations are tax deductible. Now, I will do a closing treatment, and then we will be having our closing song. So if you just join me once again in consciousness, relax yourselves. I breathe easily and joyfully. I recognize in this wondrous moment the oneness to all life. I know I am at the center of the source of all that is seen and unseen. I am at the center of pure possibility and potentiality. Spirit is omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotence. I am a divine spark of it. I speak my word into it for our CSL on the Lake community and the world, knowing it is already done in the mind of spirit. I am safe. I am life itself. I am ever unfolding good in human form. I breathe in this truth, and I feel the amazing, revitalizing energy of spirit in every part of my being. Spirit has its fingerprints all over me. This is the truth of me now and always. Today, I bask in this healthy embrace. I am love. I am loved. I matter. I gratefully align myself with this truth now. I radiate the truth of my divine partnership in every aspect of my life. It is already done, and so it is. And I have a poem I'd like to share with you from Rumi. I thought it was appropriate for the talk this evening. It's called "And Rumi on Wings." So I invite you to take this in and drink this in. It's very short. It's about 6 or 7 lines. You were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly. I also am asking if you would like to join our online community connection, to stay online and join us for the conversation after this wonderful closing song by India Ari. Namaste.
Y'all ready? Okay. I am light, I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that caused me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 Hey, yeah. I am light. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all light. All light. Oh, light. Yeah. Oh, light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. Yeah. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all.